και στα ελληνικά. Άρα πάμε να δούμε τα νέα της
Hey
εβδομάδας.
folks, today is Friday, February 9th, 2024.
Γεια
As
σου,
usual,
Jake.
my name is Jake Baldino, here to talk about all the video game news that has been going on this week.
Αυτό.
If I look a little
Τα νέα
weird,
της εβδομάδας.
it's because I was up all night playing Helldivers 2,
Λατρεύω Game Ranks.
which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Θα αφήσω το link στο description όπως πάντα και στο chat το link, παιδιά. Στο τέλος θυμίστε μου να βάλω το link στο chat. Jake Baltino, Game Ranks, υπάρχουν πολύ ωραίο content και θα δούμε τα νέα της εβδομάδας τώρα.
But we got a lot of news to talk about, so let's just jump right in. The first
Έχει
thing
πολλά
is
νέα, λέει.
about Xbox. Have you heard the news about Xbox? Have you been living under a rock? The rumors and articles that sparked a massive conversation online. Earlier in the week, and this is to get caught people up, if you've already been paying attention, I apologize, but very early in the week, rumors started to come out from reputable sources.
Για όλο το φιάσκο που είχε γίνει με το Xbox, με τις φήμες που βγήκανε και όλοι κράζανε για το Xbox κλπ. Λέει αυτό, για όλη αυτή την κατάσταση στην ουσία.
Is heavily considering and pretty much moving towards going a lot more.
Στράτο, Κουτσουρού, άμα όντως τα αλήθεια μαλώνετε, θέλω να ηρεμήσετε. Αν μαλακίζεστε, τότε συνεχίστε. Άντε, Mysta, σε αφήνω χαιρετώ το stream. Καλό βράδυ, ελπίδα. Γεια σου, New Era.
Third party, meaning publishing their first party games that were exclusive on more platforms like PlayStation. Most notably, the first things that were noted were things like Starfield going to PlayStation 5 and also Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Games that were originally
Starfield, Indiana Jones, όλα για PS5.
intended to be just Xbox exclusives, essentially going out to the greater ecosystem. But then the rumors kept swirling with potential properties like Gears of War also making their way over to other platforms. And of course, this is also backed up by the news from last week that Hi-Fi Rush is coming to other platforms. So it does seem like Microsoft and Xbox are pushing towards full, getting their stuff out on other platforms, which obviously is a big deal.
Remember when Gears of War was supposed to be on PlayStation originally?
They were making Gears of War for PS3, right?
There's that build out.
Yeah, there is. That's right. Well, now it's finally happening. That was good. That was a good gamer brain there. It leads to a lot of questions from the Xbox community. Is Microsoft, is Xbox kind of stepping back from hardware and prioritizing just software? Is the meaning of owning an Xbox now devalued to some people? What's the deal with Game Pass? Is Game Pass now going to really be everywhere? Microsoft and Xbox heads have said so many things about what they want to do. They've been so public and talking about their plans and reacting to people asking them things that you still don't totally know what they're going for here, but we do know that they are going to officially acknowledge this next week. So we'll talk about it more.
Αυτό δεν λέει για το event. Λέει για τις προηγούμενες
Head of
ειδήσεις.
Xbox, Phil Spencer, did post online on Twitter or X or whatever. I'm just calling it Twitter. I think most people still are. He said, and I quote, "We're listening and we hear you. We've been planning a business."
Κάτσε ρε, αυτό είναι τέτοιο από το προηγούμενο, δεν είναι? Την προηγούμενη εβδομάδα είναι αυτό. Α, ναι, όντως, αυτά είναι τα νέα της προηγούμενης εβδομάδας, οπότε δεν μας κάνουν αυτά. Αλλά εντάξει, ας δούμε τι άλλο έχει.
Next week, where we look forward to sharing more details with you about our vision. Game talky people online have had a lot of navel gazing and conversations and speculation about what this means, but a lot of people are wondering if and acquisitions, the later Blizzard trend, making these changes, but they are third. We pivot our business model and things kind of interesting. Who meant? Which doesn't sound very. Will it just be a statement? Will it be like a detailed blog post? Will you? We'll see what the deal is. PC fans, you have PlayStation kind of worrying about what is yet, but I want to know what your temperature is. A lot of big business news. This $5 billion in Epic Games. This is like an investment stake, whole 9 yards, and this is with the intention of building out more Disney stuff with Epic, creating, in their words, a
1,5 δις θα δώσει Disney στην... Λοιπόν, θα πάρει 1,5 δισεκατομμύρια ποσοστό στην Epic Games η Disney και θα δουλέψει με τη Fortnite, με το Fortnite Maker σε καινούριο περιεχόμενο. What the fuck?
Creating, in their words,
λίγα
a
λεφτά,
digital world where players can play, shop, watch. A lot of it sounds like metaverse talk, but metaverse as a word has already very quickly faded away from the corporate zeitgeist. So we'll see what the deal is there. Also, I do apologize. There's construction going around everywhere in this building. If the sound is kind of whack, but
A lot of crashing.
all of it. But recent success with other things. Marvel games doing very well. The Star Wars games doing very well. So Disney is starting to really see the gaming world once again. And
Αχα, βλέπεις μόλις βγάζουν λεφτά τα IP στα games, κατευθείαν η Disney τρίβει χεράκια ρε, και βάζει φράγκα. Θέλει και άλλα φράγκα. Καταλάβεις γιατί πάνε καλά τα games. Βάζουν εκατομμύρια.
1.5 billion worth. I don't think it's going to like signal that now we're just going to get a bunch of cool AAA, you know, Marvel, Disney, Star Wars video games. I think a lot of it is going to come with like just more Disney properties in Fortnite and mobile games and a bunch of other things because the business is bigger than the games that we like to play sometimes. So we're just going to have to wait and see how this $1.5 billion pans out. This does beg the obvious question though, right? This move where essentially it's the bigger businesses growing and getting bigger, where there's still a lot of layoffs and studio closures and stuff, and then there's going to be the indies. So is it going to be just like indies and massive stuff?
Γι' αυτό ισχύει ρε. Γίνονται όλο μεγαλύτερες οι μεγάλες εταιρείες, απορροφούν άλλες εταιρείες και οι μικρές είναι πολύ μικρές. Δεν υπάρχει μέση εταιρεία. Οπότε νομίζω θα δημιουργηθεί πρόβλημα αυτό, με αυτή την πορεία. Γιατί άμα μεζευτούν όλα τα IP σε μεγάλες εταιρείες, μετά νομίζω θα μείνει λίγο έτσι στάσιμη εξέλιξη και το innovation. Μόνο από indie games θα βλέπουμε innovation. Καλή ώρα στο Palworld, έτσι. Τα IPs πεθαίνουν, συμφωνώ. Τα IPs πεθαίνουν και νομίζω μόνο το Palworld είναι απόδειξη ότι κάνανε κάτι ξεχωριστό, έτσι, κάτι διαφορετικό. Που δεν ήταν super high polished, δεν ήταν super high, ξέρεις, με bugs, με τέτοια, αλλά ήταν εθιστικό, ήταν αυτό που ήθελε ο κόσμος στην ουσία, γιατί στην τελική ό,τι και να παράγεις, ό,τι προϊόν και να βάζεις είναι, πώς το λένε, είναι στον καταναλωτή το αν θα το αγοράσει ή όχι, γιατί άμα το αγοράσουν πολύ και είναι επιτυχία, άρα είναι επιτυχημένο. Αν δεν το αγοράσουν, ακόμα και καλό να είναι για σένα, άρα θα είναι αποτυχημένο εμπορικά τουλάχιστον. Μήστε καλή πολλά που είχα αλλιώς δεν θα είχα να κάνω καλησπέρα. Γεια σου ρε Μουν, καλησπέρα, καλώς ήρθες. Καλώς ήρθες, welcome. Κάτσε, άραξε Μαρέα. Λοιπόν.
Where's that in between? I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
Ναι, αυτό το μεσαίο λέει. Πού είναι αυτό το μεσαίο, που σας είπα κι εγώ. Δεν υπάρχει.
Hey, jumping over here now. New year, new you. It's time to learn something new, right?
Διαφήμιση εδώ.
It's very simply making of the good past, kind of like they did state that. But there's a little bit of marketing in there in the middle, but it's got some interesting stories. But at the end of it, Neil Druckmann, lead there, did state that they think.
Wow, το Last of Us Part 3 δεν θα γίνει μέχρι την επόμενη δεκαετία. Wait, what? Δηλαδή το 30 και βάλε. Δηλαδή μιλάμε για 5 χρόνια απλά, έτσι. Συγγνώμη. Τι λέτε ρε? Δεν έχει Last of Us 3, παιδιά, την επόμενη πενταετία. Εξαετία. Εφταετία. Σε 4 χρόνια έχει τρέιλερ, ξεκάθαρα. Ο Κόνορ στεναχωρήθηκε, ναι ρε μπρο. Ο Κόνορ τώρα τα βάψε μαύρα όλα ρε. Ναι. Τι είπε τώρα. Ναι. Δώσε μας λέει ένα Joel prequel όπου ο Joel είναι ο κακός. Μπρο, τι είπε τώρα. Φανταστείτε, ένα prequel, αυτά τα 20 χρόνια που πέρασαν μετά το θάνατο της κόρης του και την αρχή του Last of Us 1, αυτά τα 20 χρόνια μπορεί να δείξει την πορεία του πώς αυτά τα πράγματα που λέγανε με τον Jimmy που κάνανε κάτι, με τον Jimmy λέω, με τον αδερφό του, που κάνανε τέτοιο, που κάνανε μαζί, που κάνανε αναφορές μέσα στα game, αυτά που κάναμε για να επιβιώσουμε τα 20 χρόνια, τι είναι αυτά, φρικτά πράγματα που κάναμε για να επιβιώσουμε τα τελευταία 20 χρόνια κλπ. Νομίζω εγώ αυτό θέλω να δω. Να δω αυτή την 20ετία. Δηλαδή, νομίζω έχει πολύ ζουμί εκεί να το πούνε. Ωραίο, μου άρεσε. Πείτε μου τη γνώμη σας κι εσείς. Τι νομίζετε, ότι θα γουστάρατε ένα prequel με Joel, που ο Joel είναι full κακός, ας πούμε.
And Joel prequel, that'd be sick. Joel and Tommy just murdering around town.
Ό,τι καλύτερο.
I'm curious to see what that would entail, because I was one of the people with the first Last of Us that I was like, that's good, we don't need any more. And then after The Last of Us Part 2, I'm also like, that's good, we don't need any more. So I linked that Last of Us documentary if you want to watch that. I also linked a trailer for Halo, the Paramount Plus show, Season 2. It's rolling out. There are 2 episodes out now.
Η αποτυχία.
And yeah, the beginning of it was like the coolest Halo shit ever. And then it still just kind of seems like it's the same boring, weird show. But that's just me. I mean, judge it for yourself. I watched the whole first season. I don't really remember it. Maybe you're a glutton for punishment. I don't know. But also linked is just like a little link, a reminder that there is a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth demo out now. You don't have to wait too much longer for the game. It's like in a week or so. But if you want to jump into the demo, that is available for PlayStation. Also, like I mentioned last week, I highlighted a couple of...
Την άλλη εβδομάδα έχουμε το Final Fantasy Rebirth. Όχι, τη μεθεπόμενη είναι. Ωραία, φίλε, τρόμαξα. Έχει μια μισή εβδομάδα ακόμα. Εντάξει. Γεια σου, Ντίνα!
This is if you want to check out some new game experiences. If you're the type of person to say, Jake, all games are boring now, this is the perfect place to look to find what's new and upcoming. Smaller games, mid-tier games, great stuff here. These are just a couple that caught my eye, like that I plan on diving into more. Like, so I can't really say if they're like good or not, but they look exciting at a glance. I downloaded a bunch. The first is Indica. This is like a horror experience that looks really unlike anything I've seen in a while. Looking forward to diving into that. Also, there is a demo available for Pacific Drive. That comes out soon, but if you want to check out the demo and really see what it actually is, I think you should because it's not quite what you expect. But I'm looking forward. We're going to do a before you buy on that as well, so keep your eyes peeled. Also, this one I just thought was funny. It's Supermarket Simulator. This looks very early. This looks like made by a very small team, but I downloaded it and I want to check it out because sometimes the job simulator things are pretty fun, but also I would like to revisit my pain as someone who worked at a grocery store as a manager for like 10 years.
Είναι όπως το Power Simulator, θυμάστε.
Also, Harold Halibut. This is kind of like a story narrative game, but with a really incredible visual style. I don't know if it will hold everybody's attention, but this does seem pretty sweet, and some of my friends had some good things to say about it. Also, #Drive Rally. I just scrolled past this one and added it to my list because it looks like Automodelista, the classic PS2 racing game that I loved.
Βλέπεις ότι μικρά παιχνιδάκια πλέον έχουν την προσοχή.
For sure. And last but certainly not least, Hellskate, the game that a lot of you guys have sent me because you're like, hey Jake, this is your type of game. And I agree, it absolutely is. This is like a Tony Hawk game with combat and roguelite elements. And I am about that. I checked this out a little bit. It does seem very early access and rough around the edges, but the concept is
Τώρα μου ήρθε νοσταλγία, Tony Hawk, ρε φίλε. Γιατί μπαίνει μόνο εκεί, μόνο το μεράκι στη μέση. Ναι, μόνο στα indies έχει μεράκι πλέον, ισχύει. Καλησπέρα Ζήση, πού είσαι ρε μπρο.
There you go. Andy recommends. Also linked below. It's not up
Helldivers.
yet, but I will link it when it's done. The Helldivers 2 Before You Buy. We've been playing, and it's really fun if you like multiplayer shooters.
Πρέπει να δούμε το Before You Buy του Helldivers.
I'm picky with them, but I had a lot of fun playing this one. So when that goes up, I will link that in the description down below. But also some quick Ubisoft news. Head of Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot did go on record talking about Skull and Bones, which there is like a beta type thing you can access right now.
Έπαιξα, Mike, έπαιξα Helldivers.
The game is out in like a couple of days. But he did talk about the size of Skull and Bones and how he calls it a quadruple A.
Αυτό έγινε ένας χαμός με αυτή την δήλωση που έκανε ο πρόεδρος της Ubisoft, ο Γάλλος, και είπε ότι το Skull and Bones είναι ένα quadruple A game, δηλαδή 4, όχι triple A, 4α. Δηλαδή είναι ακόμα καλύτερο από triple A. Και έγινε ένας πανικός, βγήκανε memes, τον κοροϊδεύανε, και αν δείτε τη δήλωση είναι πραγματικά δεν έχει επαφή με την πραγματικότητα ο κύριος. Δεν ξέρω τι γίνεται αυτό. Εγώ πάω να πάρω Final Fantasy VII Rebirth και Dragon's Dogma. Ναι. Ξεκάθαρα. Και δεν ξέρω, δεν υπάρχει επαφή με την πραγματικότητα.
And I really think that people are like really poking fun at that and making fun of that. Yes, but I think what he's saying by quadruple A is just how much money and resources they spent on this thing. Think about how long they've been working on this game.
Είναι για τους shareholders, ξεκάθαρα.
I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
Αυτό που λέει ο Mike είναι πολύ σημαντικό, ότι όταν βγαίνουν και κάνουν τις δηλώσεις οι CEOs και αυτοί, οι δηλώσεις δεν γίνονται για εμάς. Αυτοί δεν νοιάζονται για εμάς. Αυτοί νοιάζονται για τους shareholders, δηλαδή αυτούς που έχουν, πώς λένε στα ελληνικά, αρέσει, ποσοστά στην εταιρεία, θα πω κάτι τέτοιο πάνω, μετοχές, για τους μέτοχους. Και γι' αυτό κάνουν αυτές τις δηλώσεις, έτσι ώστε να τους εντυπωσιάσουν, γιατί και οι μέτοχοι δεν έχουν ιδέα από gaming, έτσι, οι περισσότεροι. Και για να τους πουλήσουν, ξέρεις, να τους καθησυχάσουν, να τους πουλήσουν παπά, να βάζουν και άλλα λεφτά μέσα σε αυτά. Οπότε γι' αυτό γίνεται πιο πολύ αυτό. Δεν νοιάζονται, παιδιά, για μας. Αυτοί που νοιάζονται για το audience, αυτοί είναι που πετυχαίνουν πάρα πολύ. Αυτοί τώρα βλέπετε δεν τους βγαίνει άλλο. Αποτυχάνουν στα πάντα.
If it's worth it.
Αργά ή γρήγορα θα αποτύχουν.
Also, for people paying attention to Assassin's Creed Red, this is like the feudal Japan.
Ωραία, φίλε, αυτό το περιμένω γιατί είναι στην Ιαπωνία. Σε παρακαλώ, κάτω καλό ρε μπρο. Κάτω καλό. Θα παίξω, αλλά θα είμαι πολύ αυστηρός. Ρε. Θα είμαι πολύ γκρινιάρης. Πάρα πολύ γκρινιάρης.
Shinobi style Assassin's Creed game that was teased. Seems like we might have a rough release window, possibly. According to VGC, Ubisoft has stated that Assassin's Creed Red will be released.
Μάρτιο του 25. Δηλαδή στα Game Awards φέτος αυτοί κάτι θα κάνουν άμα βγαίνει Μάρτιο.
By the end of March 2025. This is within fiscal year 2025, so that puts it smack in between April 2024 and March 2025. So it could...
Η Ubisoft πάει κατά διαόλου, αλλά έχει κάτι IPs Σεύσκης. Ισχύει. Τα IP της έχει πολύ δυνατά IPs. Το θέμα είναι ότι τα τελευταία χρόνια δεν τα αξιοποιεί σωστά και παίρνουμε πολύ κατώτερο υλικό από ό,τι θα έπρεπε να παίρνουμε. Και μας εντυπωσιάζουν κάποια παιχνίδια τα οποία δεν περιμένουμε, όπως το Prince of Persia που βγάλανε. Μου έκανε θετική εντύπωση. Δεν το περίμενα να είναι τόσο καλό. Είναι actually καλό game. Έτσι. Και ας είναι side-scroller.
Could, in theory, be a holiday or fall 2024 release. I don't know for sure, but we have that, and then like Star Wars Outlaws. So I'm looking forward to, you know, some Ubisoft games being out in the mix and hopefully being decent. You know, I mean, I really liked the Prince of Persia game, but we'll see if they're just back to the same old yearly stuff. All right, but that's the news. That's everything this week. We got a lot of before you buys to go back and work on. So let me know in the comments, first of all, that pinned comment in the section down below, what you're playing this weekend. Definitely want.
Ωραία, ευχαριστούμε Jake. Θα σας αφήσω και το link στο chat. Ενδιαφέρον τα νέα. Εγώ λέω να βλέπουμε έτσι βιντεάκια νέα κάθε Σάββατο. Έτσι, σας αφήνω το link εδώ πέρα, τσεκάρετε, δώστε ένα like. Και αυτά το κομμάτι, κάθε κομμάτι που θα κάνουμε θα ανεβαίνει και στο YouTube Mysta Gaming για να μένει και εκεί πέρα και να ενημερώνεται και εκεί ο κόσμος, ξέρω εγώ. Οπότε όποιος γουστάρει τέτοιο content, παιδιά, ένα subscribe εκεί πέρα στα παιδιά και σε εμάς στο κανάλι μετά. Αυτά. Οπότε πάμε να δούμε και το επόμενο.